Today we're going to be talking about a schedule that you can follow to gain 10 pounds in 1 month. Now we're going to be mapping it out day by day in this video, fellas, and week by week, what you should be doing, some things you should be doing to help you gain 10 pounds like we said in 1 month. So on day 1, very simple, that's going to be more of just like a figure out how many calories you need to consume and how many calories you burn a day. So what I would do is I would work out just like normally, whether that's working out at school in the gym, whether it's working out on your own time, maybe doing a speed workout, maybe doing a field workout, like a general daily routine type workout that you would do. And I would invest before you start this like 30-day schedule in some type of tool that is going to help you track the amount of calories that you're burning. So whether that's a Fitbit, whether that's an Apple Watch, whatever the case may be, something that you could wear while you work out that will tell you, hey, you're burning 2,000 calories. Hey, you're burning 1,000 calories throughout the day. So then what I would do is I would go through all the food that you normally consume, look at the back of the ingredient label and figure out how many calories are in those foods. And the reason why we do that is because to gain weight, you need to stay in a calorie surplus. So I recommend staying 40% over your break-even point when doing this strategy on day 1. So on day 1, let's say you burn 1,500 calories. I recommend trying to consume, I would say, guys, like maybe like 2,000, 2,200 type calories a day, and that can help you stay in that calorie surplus, which will add to that weight gain process. But on day 1, you need to figure out those numbers so every single day you could stay on track, stay disciplined, and hit that 10-pound goal. Now also, fellas, one of the most important things with those calories that you consume to stay in your calorie surplus is getting your calories from protein. That will help you put on healthy muscle mass, and that's super important as a football player and as an athlete so you can maintain your athleticism. So if you guys would like a great protein powder to help you hit that daily calorie intake goal, but mainly from protein, check out that very first link in the description below for our AG Labs Whey Protein Powder. This is our salted caramel frappuccino flavor. We also have cookies and cream, chocolate peanut butter brownie, cinnamon snickerdoodle, is some of the best tasting protein on the market, you guys. So if you use the promo code FIRST25, FIRST25 at checkout, very first link below, you get 25% off your protein order to help you gain weight. Now let's talk about the first week, you guys, days 2 through 7. So we didn't mention in the very first clip about gym, what you should be doing in the gym to help you gain weight. We're going to talk about that. But the one thing that I do want to say first before we get into the gym is being consistent. Like I think a lot of guys, like when they don't see results right away within this first week, like week 1 through 7, they don't gain any weight. Maybe they don't even gain a pound. They get very discouraged and they kind of give up a little bit on the process. Like guys, if it's a 30-day process, like it's a long process, it's a full month. Let's say you're starting February 1st, you have all the way until March to be able to gain 10 pounds. So stay consistent. Every single day, if you hit that calorie surplus goal, you hit your protein intake goal, which should be 1 pound, or which should be 1 gram per pound of desired body weight. So if you're 150 and you're trying to get to 160, 160 grams of protein sourced from those calories and that calorie surplus is where you want to be. Now you also have to stay consistent in the gym. So in the gym, the things you should be doing to put on muscle mass, because muscle weighs more than fat, that's what we're trying to put on, is you have to stay in an 8 to 12 rep range, aka the hypertrophy range. So a lot of times football players, especially athletes, they want to lift super heavy because they want to improve their strength. And strength is super important on the field, but strength doesn't necessarily equal size. What you have to do is you have to do those main bodybuilding core type lifts like bench press, squats, you know, probably some stuff for your arms like curls, shoulder press, you know, like those types of things, exercises for your back. Not the most like athletic movements, but that's what's going to put on muscle mass. And you have to stay in an 8 to 12 rep range. That's the best rep range. In that 8 to 12 range, you are going to almost pretty much failure, and each week you are trying to slowly incrementally raise the weight that you are doing on those exercises. Now I'm not saying completely neglect strength training or to completely neglect athletic movements in the gym, but you need to be doing those core exercises in that 8 to 12 rep range to help you put on size and make sure we're staying consistent, especially week in and week out. Now on days 14 through 21, you guys, which should be like the 3rd week of this, I would say you need to increase the calorie intake that you are doing. So if you were staying 40% over your break-even points, let's say you were burning 1,000 calories a day and you were trying to consume 1,400 calories a day, I would try to up that by 10 to 15%. So now I'm going to try to consume 1,500 calories a day, or like I would say maybe 1,500 to 1,600 calories a day if that like is your break-even point, 1,000 calories. That's just the sake of numbers, just the sake of figures, but that's what I would do on that 3rd week, try to up the calorie intake to help you hit that 10-pound goal for the month. For the last 9 to 10 days of your weight gain routine, routine for the full month, I would say that you need to make sure that you are adding weight to the gym exercises that you are doing. So like for exercises that are tough to increase weight, like let's say we're talking about curls or maybe shoulder press, like throughout the entire month, if you were staying at a certain weight or around a certain weight in that 8 to 12 rep range, that's fine. But those last 10 days, you need to increase the weight, because I think if you're not pushing yourself consistently in the gym, you are going to plateau when it comes to muscle gain, especially if you have worked out for a long time. If you're brand new to lifting, like let's say you're a 7th grader or an 8th grader and you've never really lifted heavy before or lifted at all, you're gonna gain a ton of muscle mass right away if you stay consistent. But if you've been lifting for years and you're trying to gain weight, you can't plateau yourself. I think that's something I even find myself in today. Like I mean, I'm not necessarily trying to gain weight because there's no need for me to gain weight, but in the gym, I find myself like, okay, I'm going to the gym, I'm getting after it, I'm pushing myself, but the weight consistently stays the same. I'm doing the same weight for 10 reps on a cable pull down, the same weight for 8 reps on bench press. I'm not increasing it. So I feel like my gains have kind of plateaued. It's more like I'm just working out to stay in shape, not necessarily trying to get to a certain point. So you don't want to do that as a football player. So you need to make sure that last 9 to 10 days, you are increasing the weight for every single exercise so you do not plateau towards the end of the month.